All right, let's check everything out, make sure we are actually live. Our technology says we are live, but we should probably double check. Give me just a moment. We'll make sure our sound is working. All right, and I believe we are good to go. It looks like we are, at least. Okay, so let's fix one thing so that our audio is not absolutely insane. While we're doing this, we have a lot of really disturbing news to go over for Valdosta, the Lowndes County area, Albany, Georgia. Few things going on here, so hang on just a moment. Okay, I think we have everything we need now. So let's share this screen here, and we'll go ahead and cover the first thing that I would like to get to. It's been a really heavy week in the area for Valdosta and Lowndes. It's been a lot of really difficult news happening in the area, so we're going to cover some of that today. I want to start out with missing Darrious Stevens. So he's missing from the Albany area, which is not too far from Valdosta. So hang on just for him. So the crews, it said on the 12th that they were going to pick up again the following day on Wednesday. The search for missing Albany Public Works employee Darrious Stevens, he is 36 years old, ended after a 9-hour search on Tuesday, despite social media rumors to the contrary. Well, that's interesting. There have been rumors to the contrary that that maybe things aren't being done as thorough as they should be. Maybe the family isn't getting quite the amount of help that people feel that they should be getting. So there is that. Hold on, let me check my audio. Okay. We may need to, I'll double check the sound after this recording. I haven't used my mic in a little while, so we'll double check afterwards and just kind of make sure that everything's that people did not feel they were getting the help that they should to find him. Now, Stevens was collecting water samples during a rainstorm on Monday. Tuesday's search expanded 30 miles, they say, out towards Baker and Mitchell County. People who say that they know Stevens say that they are saddened to hear that he hasn't been found naturally. It's unclear if he fell into the river or what actually happened, but he's a city employee. He was sent out there to collect water samples, and so that was the point of what was happening when he actually went missing. Um, his family has spoke to the media about poor protocols being part of the problem in this whole situation, and just stating obviously the protocols were not keeping him safe. It sounds like he may have had to get into like a sewer drain or something. I'm not 100% sure about that, so don't quote me. I just started looking more at this because I was actually shocked when I saw that he has not been found yet. Um, it seems to be that he should be right in that general area, you would think. Um, so let's jump forward to a little bit more recent article about his case. Um, and this is close to the area where he went missing. So see that we are lagging a little bit there. Maybe that'll help. So the more recent article that was just published within the last day says that the quest for the missing man in Albany that works, the public works employee reaches its 10th day. So we're now on day 10 that he has been missing. Just one month. Okay. So yeah, we're now on day 10. Um, and it looks like there have been points where they had to pause the search because of the water levels. Of course, they mentioned they got a reasonably sized storm, and that, of course, played a part in being able to get out into the river and search for him, I'm sure. So it says that the search efforts have been paused at times, specifically over the weekend because of the rising water levels, making it unsafe. Now, there are rumors out there. I hate to call them rumors. There are people out there criticizing the efforts. So there's a little bit of a back and forth between the public and what authorities are saying is being done. Um, Not uncommon for the area either to have that happen. Happens on a lot of investigations. In that area in general of South Georgia. So not uncommon. So, anyways, says that we're committed to the long haul for these efforts to locate Mr. Stevens. Um, Says that the city of Albany has left no stone unturned as for trying to get the assets in order to search the areas. Now, this is not an easy search by any means because of the way that the Flint River can be. So, I'm not discrediting that whatsoever. And Albany is not a huge area, so I'm sure that they need to pull resources in. So hopefully the public just keeps asking for those resources to be pulled in so that they make sure that it happens. All right, so we've got another. I'm not going to put this one up on the screen, but I'm going to pull it up here so that we can go over it really quickly. Um, there was a retired Lowndes County teacher who is now facing charges for having had illegal content of children. Um, a retired South Georgia school teacher pled guilty to possessing child abuse material. We try to watch our words so that we don't get kicked off. But, usually we just delete all of our accounts before we get kicked off anyways. So, hey, why not? Here, where is this? Okay. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, this was after authorities located hidden cameras inside of his rental property's bathroom filming young children bathing and undressing. Really, really awful stuff here. So his name's David Swanson. He's retired. He was a teacher in the South Georgia area. He was a teacher in the Lowndes County school system, and he's pled guilty to these charges of possessing illegal content of children. So, yeah, I don't have a lot else to say about that right now. We're going to follow this as this moves through the court system just to see what happens here. But he's facing a maximum of 20 years in prison, to be followed by, of course, a lifetime supervised release. And he's also facing a $250,000 fine. He has to register as a sex offender upon his release from prison and will not be eligible for parole. He will have to serve his full sentence, so they say. We'll keep an eye on that too. So a search warrant was also executed at his home, and a lot of work has already gone into prosecuting this case. Just FYI. Some of the material included children in bathrooms, like the article mentioned. It also, found and removed cameras and different things from the home that were, illegally obtained, like the illegal content. So that's all in the possession now of investigators, and they will be able to see this case through. Hopefully, he gets the maximum penalty. I also thought I'd mention Miss Donaldsonville, who is facing charges in the toddler death investigation. Now, this is, and it's really awful. It's somebody who was a pageant winner at one time, but then had her title stripped because she was charged in the death of her former boyfriend's child. So she's now been released. This is all going on in Sumter County, not far from Lowndes County. We're going to cover some surrounding news too, because a lot of these counties are intertwined and have family and friends in surrounding counties and travel back and forth. So I think that's pretty important. So she posted a $75,000 bond and was released from the Sumter County Jail. She's facing charges for the death of her former boyfriend's child, and she is like I said, a former pageant winner in the area. This particular case is happening in around Americus, Georgia. So, like I said, we just want to mention some things that are happening in the neighboring areas too, because I think it's important. A lot of people in the counties in South Georgia travel back and forth to surrounding counties. Also, WALB News previously reported that the Sumter County Coroner's Office found signs of trauma during an exam on the toddler's body. The GBI is also involved, and the coroner's office, they haven't released any specifics. Not unusual because it's a child, and they really shouldn't anyways. So that is another situation that's ongoing in the area. And I imagine that a lot of people know about this, even in Valdosta. So I also want to talk about someone else who was arrested in the area. And we're going to pull that up and put it on the screen for everyone, because who knows who all has had interactions with this woman. I am afraid to find out. Oh, just one second. We got to pause for one moment. Okay, sorry about that. We'll try to get through our interruptions. So, and well, minimize them overall. So, there is another one I want to share right here. We're going to put the screen up. If you have ever ran into this woman, I apologize. And I hope that you ask your children about any interaction they may have had with her. So, this is Amelia Spires. My voice won't always sound as crackly either, but it definitely does tonight. So, Amelia Spires was arrested in the Georgia area, and she is going to spend the rest of her life in prison, as the title says on the screen, after pleading guilty to crimes against children. We have to be really careful what we say here because YouTube gets their panties in a wad. Now, here, this whole story is, yeah, I literally put my hand over my mouth. This whole story is, it's just, it's disturbing, it's frightening. It's been a really dark time around the whole United States, but over the last couple weeks in South Georgia, around Lowndes County and other areas, it's been really bad. This particular story that we're talking about happened in Cook County, Georgia, which is close to Lowndes County, Georgia. And I just want to bring up that we also have looked into fugitives in the area. There are sex offender fugitives that are hiding out in the Cook County area. So make sure that you stay aware of the fact that that's happening. We'll continue to report any information that we find about that, but just so that people who live there know about it. So this Cook County woman, Amelia Spires, she is a former DCF worker, and she has been charged with aggravated battery, sexually. She has also been charged with cruelty to children, incest, among other things. There are a litany of charges. Now, according to the FBI, the GBI, the Cook County Sheriff's Office, they claim to have all worked together on this case in order to bring her in and bring her forward. So hold on just a second, and we're going to bring up another article. It says that in the courtroom, it was pretty tense when she was sentenced. The attorney who presented the case against Spires said that the nature of these crimes and their lasting implications, not only to the victims but also the wider community, cannot be overstated. Now, she has a lot of ties to the Valdosta area, and I think it's important that even though this case happened outside of Valdosta, this woman was all over Valdosta, and if she interacted with your kids, she worked for DCF. If you ever had any interactions, if she was alone with your child, um, it's not a bad idea to think about it if you ever did have any type of interaction with it, and it's not too late to report it. Yes, she has a life sentence, but maybe also if people have had anything happen, maybe just knowing this information that she has been sentenced and put away for very similar crimes, maybe that will help give some people a little bit of peace. So to anyone who's been affected by her actions, we hope that this is a little good information, and we hope for anybody who had any type of interaction with her, like I said, talk about it. Just, you know, consider it. Consider the fact that if any of your vulnerable family members have ever been alone with this woman, that something could have happened. She was also heavily involved with adoptions and different things around the area. So, like I said, just really something to think about. And again, her name was Amelia Spires. And it appears that she has had a bit of a fall from grace. Um, yeah, this is a extremely disturbing case. It says that as the dust settles on this chapter of darkness in Cook County, the sentencing of Amelia Spires closes a painful episode, but also opens dialogue on vigilance, responsibility, and the enduring spirit of a community determined to seek justice and safeguard the innocence of its youngest members. So luckily, this was treated appropriately. I feel that crimes against children or against vulnerable people often go unlooked around the South Georgia area, so it's really good that they were able to do something about this. So now, let's go to more heinous news in the Lowndes County area. There was also a woman that was found dead on the University of Georgia campus after going for a run. We saw that that happened as well. A little bit further outside of the area, but definitely something to pay attention to. Again, if anybody in the area knows anything that maybe could help, any volunteers or anything like that that could help with the search for Darrious Stevens, I'm sure their family would greatly appreciate it, even if it's just walking areas and, seeing if you notice him. Oh, that was also, so in Tift County, which is Tifton, Georgia, not far from the area again, the high school principal, Chad Stone, he was arrested as well and is facing 6 felony charges for financial transactions and theft by taking. I think that he was released on the $10,000 bond, so he's back out, but that also happened. And let's talk about this. This is a little bit outside of the general area that we plan to cover, but a cybersecurity expert believes it is going to take months before Fulton County in Atlanta can recover from a cyber attack. Now, this was reported a little bit earlier in the month, but a cybersecurity expert says that it could be months before they actually fully recover from this attack. Just a week ago, there were still government services that were down because of the attack. It's been nearly 3 weeks since the government employee's computer system was hacked. Now it's been a little bit longer, more like 4 weeks. Officials are saying that some personal information may have been leaked. They haven't said whether it was county employees or residents or if whose information may have been leaked. Now, one thing that I do know is that this attack came from a hacking group that's been doing things like this. Sounds like they had a back and forth with Fulton County that didn't go real well, and so they acted on their threats. And I don't know who is behind protecting them from those threats, but I assume that that will also have to be thoroughly investigated. They had a lot of services, like I said, a lot of government services that were down in the area because of it. The Valdosta City Schools also have been addressing student behavior. saying that they're having problems in their classrooms, that recent data shows a range of repeated issues, and that school leaders sent out letters to parents asking for their help. WALB spoke to the superintendent, Dr. Craig Lockhart, for Valdosta City Schools, and he addressed what the data had found. He said that the biggest disciplinary challenge in elementary and middle schools is student incivility. The biggest challenge they're seeing from the high school students is attendance and skipping, with student incivility immediately after. So they're skipping school and messing stuff up. Hopefully they can get that under control, because that does spiral out to become a big problem in areas like that and can lead to other issues like gang activity and trafficking. And from what I can see on the South Georgia, the Georgia South District, rather, federal cases, um, they don't seem too interested in human trafficking cases. So you don't want to find yourself a victim of such in South Georgia. Keep your kid in school. All right. That was a really twisted stay in school message, right? Coming from the person who never went to school. Wow. Okay, so there was also a woman charged in Valdosta in December with the homicide of a 73-year-old man. What is wrong? What is going on in Valdosta and South Georgia? We really need to pay attention to the behaviors of people as they escalate, because it will lead to bad things. I'm also not sure if anybody out in Valdosta is watching this and they want to leave a comment below and let me know. Does anybody know anything about Peter Richardson? He was last seen I want to say December of 2022. He was last seen, and no one's really reported anything about him. It's unclear if he is still missing. He was not on our missing list when we requested that list from Valdosta, so I have no idea who is assigned his case. It is hard to get any type of feedback or cooperation, it seems, when it comes to him. So I'm curious if he has or has not been found, and if we can get any confirmation from anybody. So if you know Peter Richardson or his family, please comment. Please let us know exactly what might be going on. I'm going to be uploading a lot of things that we've reported on in the past that I feel are important for the community, like the Broken Arrow Project that was done in the Lowndes County area. I think it's important that we get that information back out there so that everybody has that to share and view. It's unfortunate, like we're not just trying to throw mud on everything. That's not the point here. We'd actually like to see a little less mud on everything. But you know how it is when you're cleaning up something, it looks a little bit messier before it looks better. So that's kind of the process here. I think we're going to call it right there. And we'll be back. We're going to do these as often as we need to. We'll upload some shorts and some videos in the process in between our lives so that we can share any breaking news around the Valdosta area. So watch for our shorts, watch for our lives, and just for our general coverage in Valdosta. And then, at the moment, maybe once or twice a week we'll be live to talk about things. So if you live in the Valdosta area and you want to talk about something, if you are a victim of a crime, if you have been affected by a crime or any type of situation like that, you can of course comment on our video. If you have something specific you would like us to cover, just let us know. We'll be waiting for your feedback. And until then, we're going to keep uploading some more content, and we'll see everybody soon.